Welcome ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to show the changes to Alatar's ability I made after the cruelest criticism. As you might notice, I love criticism so much as Gollum loves Sam.
What's it doing? Stupid fat hobbit! It ruins it!
So previously here we had the ability that summoned Thunderstorm. Alatar had to stand still, otherwise the ability could be interrupted and cancelled. Additionally, the ability was making 20 hits per shot with moderate amount of damage, and Elrond can't refresh the powers of the council's members. The proposition was to make Alatar be able to summon a tornado, but that's his ability when he gets the One Ring. That is how that very ability looks like. Now Alatar from the Council has a new unique ability. He can create a hero gain that attacks with several tornadoes. I wanted to recreate the visual part of Storm's powers from the X-Men movies. I planned to make it from the beginning, but I wasn't sure how to create such an effect and mechanics of it. But I did it. To make it easier to control particles, because it's extremely hard to shape it like a tornado just within the code, I've created curves in 3ds Max and shaped it like the tornado. Then I've created bones and added the path constraint to make bones move along the curve. These bones define the trajectory of our particles. Here we have only 10 to not make it too heavy. And I've exported it like a dummy object where we have only bones with animation and no geometry. To these bones in the code I've attached fx particles. As you can see, the object was scaled down because from the start I wanted to make it higher than the Elven Fortress, like a real tornado. But then I abandoned the idea because it covered too much of the screen. That is how it looked from the start. The truth is that the bigger variant is easier for game to render, because here we add bigger textures, so we need less of the particles, because it's easier to create a blend between bigger elements. And the smaller the particles are, the more of them we need to create a smooth trail. That's why when I've scaled it down for the smaller version, we needed smaller textures and more particles to create the shape of the tornado. Here we have lifetime in the range from 60 to 100. The timing here is in frames, and 1 second is considered to be 30 frames. The animation for bones, as you can see, also has 100 frames. These two numbers say that the elements will remain from 2 to 3 seconds randomly. We have here only one color and ColorScale to create variation of color by subtracting up to -20 from any of the RGB channels. Alpha here controls the opacity of the particles from 0 frame, in other words from the start. The particles are almost transparent, then to the frame of 20 it will become more visible, and then to the frame of 100 the particles will fade, so we will not see it at all. Here we have the size. In this case I made it equal, but the randomization of these sizes is made via SizeRate. But we will talk in detail about fx particles and how to work with it in our future videos. press like and subscribe if you are interested in this topic. And here I've added a variation of elements to create a diversity. Here we have different sizes and colors. And here we have additional particle systems that are not attached to any bone. It appears at the ground when the heart of the tornado becomes closer to the surface. IntialDelay says that the effect will appear only after 2 or 3 seconds from the time when the tornado was created. And as you can see, the tornado also doesn't attack immediately, but after 2 seconds, when the heart of the tornado almost reached the ground. And the lifetime of the tornado is 3.3 seconds, to match the time of the animation. Now Alatar can attack only with 3 winds once per 8 seconds, instead of 20 lightnings per second. Lightnings are easier to render, and to whirlwind not to cover the screen with clouds, I limited the amount for attacks. But the radius of the attack is wider and the tornado attacks last for 1.3 seconds. Using the new ability, Alatar can move freely. But the storm will be cancelled when Alatar dies. Alatar, in the same way as the other members of the council, is summoned only for 90 seconds. The ability is strong against units and machines, providing us with constant attacks. That's all for today, thank you for watching and happy modding!